Trigeminal neuralgia. Imagine your face suddenly getting zapped by what feels like a lightning bolt made of knives. No warning, no logic, just sudden, pure, unfiltered pain. That's trigeminal neuralgia, aka the suicide disease. And yeah, it earned that nickname the hard way. This condition messes with your trigeminal nerve, basically the overachieving facial nerve in charge of chewing, blinking, and feeling your cheeks. But when it glitches, it feels like your face gets hacked by a sadistic little goblin with a taser. Every day, stuff like brushing your teeth, talking, or even wind touching your skin would bring you instant level 10 pain. Now, this isn't your average, ow, my head hurts. This is more like someone just stabbed me in the jaw with an ice pick made of electricity. It comes in sudden, brutal bursts, or sticks around like that one house guest who just won't leave. And the worst part, it doesn't always show up on scans. So people get misdiagnosed, brushed off, or told they're just being dramatic. Doctors aren't even 100% sure why it happens. It could be a blood vessel pressing on the nerve, or your brain just doing its chaotic thing. Meds can help, but sometimes it takes surgery to calm the storm. ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. You know when your phone freezes and no matter how many times you tap it, it just won't respond? That's kind of what ALS does, except instead of a phone, it's your body. And instead of a frozen screen, it's your brain ghosting your muscles. ALS, short for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, is a progressive neurodegenerative disease. The translation, it slowly kills the nerve cells that control your muscles. Walking, talking, swallowing, breathing, yep, all on the chopping block. It doesn't affect your brain's ability to think, though. You're fully aware while your body gradually stops listening to you. It's like being trapped in a mech suit with a dead battery, while still feeling every system failure in real time. Cruel doesn't even begin to cover it. It's also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, named after the baseball player who went from MVP to diagnosis in the span of a season. No cure, no real way to stop it, just a ticking clock and a front row seat to your own body shutting down. Most people live 2 to 5 years after diagnosis, though a few outliers like physicist Stephen Hawking beat the odds and lived for decades. But even then, it's a marathon of medical care, tech devices, and adjusting to constant change. Huntington's disease. Have you ever forgotten your keys, tripped over nothing, and then snapped at someone for asking how your day's going? Well, you've just lived 5 seconds of what Huntington's disease feels like. Except with Huntington's, that's just the warm-up act. Huntington's is what happens when your DNA loads a glitch into your operating system and hits play. Except you can't pause, rewind, or uninstall the update. It's caused by a mutation in the HTT gene, and this little genetic typo doesn't just cause problems, it basically rewrites your life. People with Huntington's don't start out looking sick. At first, it's subtle. A bit of forgetfulness, maybe some anxiety, a slight twitch in the hand that doesn't go away. But over time, it evolves into full-body jerking movements, slurred speech, memory loss, and mood swings that hit like a wrecking ball. It's like your brain is slowly losing connection with your body, and it knows it. The worst part about this disease is that you only need one copy of the bad gene to get it. So if any of your parents has it, there's a 50% chance you inherited it. Basically, your family tree becomes a game of genetic Russian roulette. Cystic fibrosis. You're breathing just fine until you're not. Imagine waking up every day like you've got a cold you never recover from. You're coughing, you're wheezing, your lungs feel like they're glued shut with molasses. That's life with cystic fibrosis, aka CF, aka your mucus going full villain. Normally, mucus is the unsung hero of your body. Gross, yes, but helpful. It keeps stuff moving, protects your organs, and doesn't ask for credit. But in people with CF, a broken gene called the CFTR gene turns mucus into the clingiest, thickest, most overbearing roommate you've ever had. It builds up in your lungs, pancreas, and other organs, and it does not clean up after itself. So something as simple as breathing becomes the hardest thing you'll ever do. You won't be able to digest food properly either because of all the mucus clogging your intestines. And if that's not bad enough, infections throw a party and never leave. Your body spends so much energy just trying to keep the basic systems running that it's like living with a full-time job inside your chest. Oh, and CF isn't contagious, but it is genetic. So both parents have to be carriers, which means CF often comes as a surprise nobody saw coming until the symptoms show up. For decades, it was seen as a childhood disease because most people didn't make it to adulthood. But science said bet, and now with advanced treatments like gene modulators and chest physiotherapy, many people with CF are living longer, fuller lives. Endometriosis. You ever had a period so bad it feels like your uterus is trying to punch its way out of your stomach? Now imagine how painful that was, but this time it happens every single month, multiple times. And sometimes the pain hits even when you're not on your period. That's basically what endometriosis is. The condition that somehow still gets brushed off as just bad cramps, even though it's basically your organs playing hide and seek with your sanity. Here's the deal. Endometriosis is when tissue similar to the stuff that lines your uterus starts growing outside of it, like on your ovaries, fallopian tubes, bladder, even your intestines. And just like the normal uterine lining, it bleeds every month. The problem here, though, is that this time it has nowhere to go, so it builds up, gets inflamed, and causes excruciating pain. We're talking can't stand up, cancel your life, curl into a ball pain. And yet, a shocking number of people get told to just take ibuprofen, like they didn't already try that 5 pills ago. It doesn't stop at pain either. Endo can mess with fertility, digestion, mental health, and your entire quality of life. And because it often doesn't show up on scans, diagnosis can take years. Imagine living with a fire alarm that keeps going off, and every doctor just tells you it's probably in your head. Parkinson's disease. You drop your keys. Again. Not because you're clumsy, but because your brain's internal wiring is slowly glitching. That's Parkinson's disease, a progressive neurological disorder that turns basic motor functions into a daily battle. It all starts with dopamine, the brain's favorite motivational juice. In Parkinson's, the dopamine-producing cells in a part of your brain called the substantia nigra start dying off. And without dopamine, movement automatically gets weird, slow, shaky, unpredictable. It's like trying to drive a car with sticky brakes and a laggy steering wheel. The first signs are sneaky, maybe a small hand tremor, a softer voice, or stiff muscles. But it builds. Over time, walking gets harder. Expressions flatten, even blinking slows down. You're still in there, 100% you, but your body feels like it's buffering. And no, it's not just an old person disease. It usually shows up after 60, but early onset Parkinson's can hit people in their 30s or 40s. There's no cure yet, but treatment helps. Medications are given to boost dopamine, and deep brain stimulation can act like a pacemaker for your brain.